Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Weekends on AM 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty, joined by Mr. Paul Johnson, Cross Country Mortgage. We were talking a lot about mortgages before the break and interest rates and what you need to know. At the end of the day, you need to sit down with an expert like Paul. Give us a call, shoot us a text. I'll get you connected. 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. But now we know what's going on with mortgages. We know about the bonds and the tax reform and how all of that stuff has affected things. But I want to talk about the real estate market. Miss Jodilynn, Kim.
Hey.
Hi. Jodilynn is a very shy young lady. And if you put her on the spot, oh, that's a good sound effect there, Paul. I love it. So, Jodilynn, let's talk about one of the things that Paul mentioned is, prices are going up. They've been going up.
Absolutely.
For multiple years now. What's causing prices to go up?
The fact there's very little inventory out there. So everybody who's looking is looking at the same things. And so I'm finding when the clients that I'm working with that when they find something that's really great, if it's been on the market for a day or two, lots of people have already seen it. So what I'm doing to help my clients is trying to go after things before they come onto the market. Because once it's on the market, it's on fire. The market's on fire.
So let's talk about some of the strategies you're using to find stuff that's not on the market yet.
Okay. So what I try to do with my clients, or what I do with my clients, is I let them know that I am going to be door knocking for them in the neighborhoods that they like, given they have a neighborhood they know they love, and also reaching out to my network of the top producing agents in San Diego to see what they have coming soon so that maybe we can get it first.
Okay. So what's the advantage? If you can get in there before it goes on the MLS or goes publicly for sale, what's the advantage for somebody?
The advantage is that they are being the first to see it, because once it goes to the market, everybody gets a ping on their Zillow or their whatever sites agents are sending them, and they're all trying to jump on it at the same time. So before it goes active is one of the best times to really decide, I want to put an offer on this one, and do it before everyone else.
I love it. Okay. So that's the key, is trying to get the stuff that's not publicly available. But let's say you can't find something that's not publicly available and you got to go to what's on the MLS or what is publicly available. How do you separate your client's offer from the rest? Because, we do a ton of listings and multiple offers is extremely common. It's almost even expected in some areas right now. So how do you make your client's offer stand out above the other 5 or 10 offers?
I make sure that I have a really good connection with the listing agent or the agent on the other side. I will go there, I will talk to them, build a communication with them, find out what their clients need, and communicate that with my clients so we can make a deal that's attractive to everyone. And of course, we do the things like shortening contingencies and just coming in with a really strong offer. But the first thing is creating a relationship with the other agent and really showing them that you can follow through and that your clients really want the house, and emphasizing that to them.
Yeah, I'm typically on the listing side or representing the seller in a transaction, and I am blown away how many people write an offer on one of our listings, never hear from them once before they submit the offer, nor do I hear from them again after they submit the offer. They just go on, submit it, and sit around and wait for a response. They've never spoken to me, asked what's important to my client, because that's so crucial, because everybody who's selling a home is selling for different reasons. They may be selling and moving to a retirement home. They may be selling and moving out of state. They may be selling and buying another home. And each of those different scenarios is going to have different needs for that particular seller.
Exactly.
So your seller might want a short escrow. The seller might want a long escrow. The seller might need to rent the place back from the buyer after it closes for a little while, so they can close on their next place. And it's just mind-blowing to me how rarely agents reach out to us. So if you're out there and you're looking to buy a home and you're interviewing agents, you should interview agents, by the way. Don't just work with the first agent that you talk to, or don't just go on Zillow and whoever it sends you just, all right, this is my agent. Like, actually ask some questions. And one of the questions is to ask them, one, like Jody mentioned, how are you going to give me access to homes before they hit the market? Because that's huge. Second is, what are you going to do to make my offer stand out from the competition? Mm-hmm. And if that agent can't give you a clear-cut answer on the spot immediately, that might not be the right agent for you. If you ask that question,
is it her?
I love it. If you ask that question and you could tell they're searching and they're thinking about what they're going to do, they don't know. They don't have a plan. Like Jodilynn has a plan. Every single time she submits an offer, she follows that plan. And that's one of the reasons why you do as much business as you do, why you've helped so many families.
Thank you. Another thing that I do to make my clients stand apart is I really emphasize the lender. And I have the lender call the listing agent just to, butter them up and let them know how qualified my clients are. And so that's incredibly important.
Yeah, that's crucial. And it's surprising too, from the lender standpoint. I call a listing agent and they'll ask questions like, say it's a VA buyer and they don't understand how it works. And by having a simple conversation, now we have an opportunity to get our clients in the door. And so, yeah, that's having a plan. And you're right, Kyle, because we see it all the time. We'll have people out writing offers and then we'll say, look, copy us on the offer. Let us know when it's going out. Maybe we know the listing agent, and it's so competitive. Every little advantage that you have, being able to just be on the same page with what they're trying to accomplish for their seller, it's crazy to me that somebody would write an offer and email it. I mean, we're talking about a $500,000 plus transaction and they don't pick up the phone. They don't text you, nothing.
It happens all the time, more than 50% of the time. Yeah, it's totally crazy. And those, one of the things that you touched on there is relationships are so important, building that relationship with the other agent, and building relationships with agents within the community is really important. I mean, we do a lot of business in East County. You and I both live in Santee, Jodilynn, and we had a agent in our office who was writing an offer, and, he knew that I had a relationship with the listing agent on it. And I put a quick phone call into that listing agent, and they flat out said, hey, we've got 5 offers. Here's the number to beat. If I didn't have that relationship with that other agent, I wouldn't have had that information. And I think far too often agents, they actually run away from other agents. They're like, oh, you're my competition. I don't want to talk to you. Like, no, that's the worst thing you could do. Like, the other agents are your allies. You might compete on a transaction here or there, but you're going to work together on a lot more transactions than you're going to compete against each other on. So taking the time to build those relationships, just in general, going to networking events and, taking good care of people, providing good service, being responsive, which seems to be really difficult for a lot of agents. That stuff goes a long way when it comes time to actually do a transaction together.
Absolutely.
So if you want to get connected with Jodilynn and Kim over at the Whissel Realty team, I'd love to make that connection. Give me a call or shoot me a text. My cell number is 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. I would love to get you connected with Jodilynn. One of the other things you do, Jodilynn, is you make this thing fun for people.
I do.
The buying and selling process of real estate, like we talked about, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, and literally where you're going to lay your head down at night is all on the line when it comes to these transactions, and it can be very, very stressful. How do you make this process fun?
Well, to make it fun, you have to let them know what's coming. There's nothing worse for people who are buying than to not know what's coming, and that's what makes it stressful. So I do go over the process before we start, and probably 10 to 15 times while we're in the process, just so they always know what's coming. They always know what to expect. So there's a room for fun because there's less stress.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That was well said. There's room for fun because there's less stress. That would be a long hashtag, but that's a good slogan to run with. I love it. If you want to have less stress and you want to have fun, let's talk to Jodilynn and Kim. You will love it. She is a sweetheart. And literally every client that I see her work with, they're friends after the transaction. There's studies that talk about how everybody who buys a home says they would use their realtor again, but at the end of the day, only 10% actually do. And that a lot of it is because they didn't have a good experience with that realtor, or that realtor didn't stay in contact with them. Like, Jodilynn doesn't just stay in contact. They become like best friends.
Yeah.
Like, did we just become best friends? Is that a button on their ball? It's amazing. So, that's been awesome to take some of that stress off people's plate, make sure they have fun. You're bringing them deals that aren't, publicly available. If it is publicly available, you're making their offer stand out. I mean, she's the whole package, guys. So if you want to buy a home in San Diego, I'd love to connect you with Jodilynn. 663-SELL, 619-663-SELL. What are some other little tips you got for us? We got a couple minutes left in this segment.
Little tips
About the process of buying or selling. What should somebody know? If they want to buy,
right.
What's another little tip? Something that they should know that maybe other people aren't telling them.
The first thing, you have to talk to a lender. People always do it backwards, and they want to find a home and then qualify for their loan. It's so important to get your financing in order first. And that way, again, there's more room for fun and less stress. Because when you find the home and you have to find how many documents does a lender need?
Like 2,000 or
like
so?
2,000 different documents, and you only have 3 days to do it. That's incredibly stressful.
Mm-hmm.
So financing in order, definitely the number one thing to do when you're looking to buy.
Good stuff. We're going to head to a break here on Whissel Weekends. When we get back, we're going to talk about what happens before you buy a home and what are some of those documents that are required to make that happen. You're listening to Whissel Weekends, AM 1170, The Answer.